Testing. I can see the light on. The light is on. Ooh, I can see people in the chat. We have got about 26 in the chat. Can you hear me okay? I'm back. It's been a while. Let's see if I can just adjust this because my chat box is very, very small. Hi to everyone. Can't remember the last time I was live. Frank in Blackpool is in the house. Oh, hang on. Oh, I've got a bit of reverb because I've got this, got it on my phone as well. So yes, I believe you can hear me loud and clear. In fact, I might be a bit too loud because I'm in the red line. I'm redlining it on my audio. I might need to turn the audio down a bit. Let's see. Type 1 if you can hear me okay. If the sound's okay. Might be a bit too loud, I don't know. So we'll say some hellos. See what we got. Might be easier to do it on here. Let's have a look. So we've got Sir Fonzie Das. We've also got Hazel. Hi to Hazel. Audrey. MD. Oh, you know who you are, don't you? Dutch Miss. William Johnson. Elizabeth Donnelly. Kevin Rudd. Beyond Every Valley. Michael Hassal. It might be a little bit too loud. I might need to just turn it down a bit. Hi to Garen Davis. Mouse Charger is with us and Tracy Abbott. John Healy. Stephen Smith. Paulina Ashcroft are here. So, just going to take a little drink of water. So, yeah, I'm all right now. The Filed Flyer is with us. Yeah, I had a bit. So, I've been away, of course. I went to the United States. And funny enough, I was meant to be going there to do astronomy. That was the original plan. The original reason for going was to do astronomy, but it turned into nothing like that. I did not do any astronomy at all. Beyond Every Valley, I managed to capture Comet Lemmon last week. Lemmon. How do you say it? Lemon or lemon? Yes. Nice comet. And if you get a chance to go and have a look at it, I have not hardly had a chance to have a look at it since the video. If you haven't seen the video, check out the video I did where I photographed Comet Lemmon the other week, because I did it with the Astro Club, and we had a nice sighting of it. But I've hardly had any chance to look at it since. We've had a few clear patches, but I've not been out, and the problem is that my horizon from where I live is not very good. So I haven't had a chance, but you can still do it. Apparently, it's getting a bit fainter, but you can still see it, the comet. If you've got binoculars, you can still see it. So there's a good chance to go out and see if you can spot the comet. It's moved across a bit. In fact, I'm going to have a look at, I tell you what, let's have a little look at Stellarium, because if you look on Stellarium now at the moment, we're past. Hi to Lee and Audrey Spennymoor. So yeah, so Comet Lemmon, we'll have a little look at that show. I'm going to talk about the other one as well, the Comet Atlas. We'll talk about that a bit later, but let's have a little look and just see where it is. Now, I'm going to have to go back in time because we're now at 8 o'clock and it's probably too low down. So let's go back to 6 o'clock, right? So hopefully you can see this now. I'm on Stellarium here and I've gone back to 6 o'clock. So this is how things would look if I can get that clock. Can you see there? The sun's obviously gone down, so it's showing below the horizon. So if I could This is a bit difficult. This, for some reason, doesn't seem to want to let me zoom in. So we're looking sort of towards the west. Can you see? We've got the west there. So it's slightly south of the west. Now, if I put the constellations on, we can see what constellations there are. Now, unfortunately, it's in the constellation of Serpens, and that doesn't really have any really bright stars. But what you can do is, if I turn that off there, if you look towards, it's gone behind a tree, hasn't it? Oh, that's so typical, that is. Let's just go back a bit because I want to show you something. Now, if you look towards the west at this time of year, just up, even when it's still twilight, you'll see that bright star Arcturus. You cannot miss that star because it is so bright. That one that's just above the tree there, Arcturus. It's a very, very bright star. You cannot miss it. It'll be quite low towards the west. What you want to do is look for that and then basically just look to the left and hopefully carry on scanning left, and you might be able to do a little bit of star hopping. There are some stars here that you should be able to see these stars, but it's just a little bit unfortunate that it's found itself in this patch of sky that's not really, it's in there somewhere. Look, can you see? I think that's it there, isn't it? Yeah. It just looks like a dot on here, doesn't it? So, there you are. That's where it is at the moment. I mean, it has moved a little bit towards the sort of left compared to where it was the other week. It's not a whole, it's not like loads of, it's not moved a whole lot from where it was before. Hi to Mildred. Well, we've got 70. I think we've got about 70 watching. We've just been having a little look at Comet Lemmon. Dean Cox managed to get a picture of the comet last Wednesday using the Dwarf 2. How do I share a picture? Well, I don't know, actually, unless you could email us. I'm interested in the digital telescope like the Dwarf 2. I saw someone using one in the Lake District when we went up there last month, and he was getting some amazing pictures. Shout out to David and Gary, just given birth to a beautiful baby girl called Elowen. Dutch Miss. Oh, I'm just looking at. I'm just trying to look through the comments. There's quite a lot of comments on here at the moment. It'll soon disappear to the southern hemisphere, says beyond every valley. So yeah, so we've got a few things going on in the night sky at the moment, and I'm a little bit out of the loop because I went abroad to the United States, originally going there to do astronomy. I wanted to go in September, but when I couldn't go in September, I put it off, and I asked a friend of mine on the off chance if he wanted to go, and you know what, he came back to me and said, yeah, let's go. So it turned into just a normal holiday or a bit of a road trip, and I didn't get any astronomy done. Couldn't really do any because the weather was never really that good. Well, the weather was good, but it was never really clear at night, unfortunately. There was one night where I thought it was going to be nice and clear. We'd just been to Mount Rushmore and it was really clear. The sky was clear. The sun had gone down. Went back to the hotel. Came back out again when it was dark and it was completely clouded over. So that was our best chance, I think. That was our best chance of seeing something because we were in the middle of nowhere. And I was hoping that it would stay clear, but it didn't stay clear. And I wanted to show my friend the stars, but anyway, never mind. This week we've got a full moon, says Frank in Blackpool, and we're covered in clouds. We've got some pretty bad weather here in the UK this week. It's very unsettled. So unfortunately, it's not very good, the weather this week. So let's have a little look at this. See where we are. So hopefully I will get a chance to do another. I mean, I did say when I did that video the other week, that video did really, really well, actually. It did very well. The video I did on Comet Lemmon got over 10,000 views, so I'm very, very pleased with that. And you know what? The comet is quite easy to photograph. You could even get a picture of it with your phone. It's that easy to photograph. Mildred says we're in the car at the moment on the way home from Blackpool. Wow. Hi to Judy. Hi to Andrew. Hi to Richard. Moonage is here. And Jay. Jay is in the house. We're all coming back now. So I've been away for a while. I even thought about possibly doing a live stream away. Now, one of the main things why I didn't do, well, I was with someone and I was meant to be going on my own to America. If I'd have gone on my own and I'd have gone in September, it might have been different. I might have got some things done, but I will make up for it because I am thinking of going abroad again. I'm thinking, only thinking, you know, I might not do, but I'm thinking of going to Tenerife in December for the Geminid meteor shower. Not promising, but I've been before for the Geminid meteor shower, and if you go to Tenerife or somewhere like that where you usually get quite clear skies, especially if you're high up, because if you drive up the mountain to about 6,000 feet, but you're usually above the clouds, so you get a great view. The last time we went to see the Geminis, we must have saw hundreds of them between myself and somebody else. I've been twice and they're amazing. We saw fireballs. It's great. It was amazing. So I'm really hoping to get down there this year. So we'll wait and see. I'm not promising anything. So we've got Moonage here in the house. Who else have we got? Have we got anyone new? Shall we be? George is here. George Smiley. Dave Muirhead is here. So how many people have seen the comet? Type 1 if you've seen the comet. Comet Lemmon. I saw it with my own eyes. You could actually see it with your own eyes. Not saying you can see it now, but we could just about see it. Now the thing is, I mentioned in that video, the video I did about the comet last time, is that although the comet is designated as a brightness, it was designated around magnitude 4. Now the human eye can see down to magnitude 6. The higher the number, the lower or the fainter something is. So it kind of works backwards, you know. So magnitude, the higher the magnitude, the fainter it is. So let's think about it. Magnitude 4, it's well within the naked eye. But it's not just that though, because a comet is, its light is spread out. So the brightness is like an average of that light spread out. So in a way, if you think of a star that's magnitude 4, it's a point of light that's quite easy to see. But the comet will not be as easy to see as a magnitude 4 star because it's not a point of light. Even if it's got the same brightness or the same, you know, the same average brightness, because that light is spread out. It's a bit like when you look at a galaxy, the Andromeda galaxy, I think is it magnitude 6? So it's just about on the limit of the least brightest star that you can see with your own eyes. But although that brightness is spread out quite a bit, it's nowhere near as easy to see as a point of light, a star. So yeah, just trying to explain a little bit there. Right, okay, thanks Dean. I'll have a look at that on Facebook when I have a look. Yeah, so we could see it on the promenade just up from Blackpool. Now it was a dark part of the promenade, but it was still nowhere near as dark as being out in the country or anything like that. So if you can get yourself out of the country and make sure that where you're looking is not looking over light. If you can get yourself to the coast, you know, like we're on the coast, we're quite lucky. When we look out, we're looking into darkness, but we still have quite a lot of overspill of light that comes over. Oh, we've got over 100 people watching. That is amazing. I'm back, folks. I'm back, and we've got over 100 people watching. Hi to Sharon Morris. We've got some people coming in. I might have already said hi to some people. Now, who wants to know my views on Comet Atlas? Because I was getting confused when I came back. I thought I was looking at Comet Atlas. I even said in the video, I said Comet Atlas, and I had to correct myself because it wasn't Comet Atlas. Now, Comet Atlas is the thing which is making all that. Forget Comet Lemmon, you know, that the one that I photographed the other week, the one that you can actually see. Forget that. It's all about Comet Atlas. They're all going on about it on the YouTube. So I've been watching the news. Yeah, I've been watching all about these people. Some people saying it's an alien spacecraft. It's come from out of the solar system. It's interstellar. Interstellar means it's come from another star system, or it's come from outside of the solar system. So it's not from our solar system, and therefore it probably contains minerals or whatever that are not to do with our solar system. It is a weird object, and it's doing weird things. So is it aliens? Well, if you watch some YouTube videos, there are some YouTube videos. Well, M3D1807 says it's not a comet. Well, that's the thing, you see, because they are calling it a comet. Comet, is it A3? A3 Atlas is what they call a dark comet. So it's doing all the things that a comet would do. It's coming into the solar system. It's coming by the sun, although it's an interstellar one, and it's older than our solar system. They reckon it's way older than Earth, but it's doing some weird things. They reckon it's outgassing like a comet, but you can't see because it's accelerating as well. That's non-gravitational. Now, normally when you come close to the sun or something as massive as the sun, you get like a little bit of you tend to travel a little bit faster, you know, a little bit faster when you're closer. It's like when the moon orbits. It's trying to explain it. It's when you know, because most things have got an elliptical orbit. In fact, every planet's probably got an elliptical orbit. But when they go closer, slightly closer to the sun, they accelerate a little bit. So they accelerate a bit. Now that's fair enough. But this comet or dark comet, Comet Atlas, is actually accelerating without the sun. So they don't really know why it's doing that. I think they're having to kind of, you know, they're having to get their heads down and try to suss out what's going on. Some people have some explanations for it. Something to do with the outgassing. I mean, if you remember a few years ago, this is going back to about 2017. Before I started this channel, there was that big cigar-shaped thing. Remember? I'll tell you what, I'm just going to put some pictures on comments. Oh, there's a picture of a comet. Let me know if anyone knows will recognise that one. That's from 2020. But anyway, back to 2017. There was one called Oumuamua. And it was a very, very strange object. Asteroid. Dark comet is what they think it was. And that was from outside of the solar system. It was an interstellar body. It came into our solar system. And it did similar things to Atlas. It probably didn't accelerate in quite the same way that Atlas has. Atlas is kind of taking it to another level. Dutch Miss said the YouTube stuff on Atlas is scary. I'm interested in Dr. Lowe's theory. Well, I've actually watched some of his videos and I don't know. It's interesting. Some people are more entertaining than actually, you know, rather than being boring and saying, oh, it's just a rock, you know, it's just a space rock. A bit like what you're looking at here on the screen. Comet Neowise. came into the inner solar system from the outside of the solar. This is not an interstellar comet, but it did light up our skies quite a bit. And well, that picture there was taken from Solomon's Temple in Derbyshire, the Peak District. Thanks, Astro Lover. 104 watching. I think Mooney's Daydream thought it was an alien spacecraft. Have you ever seen anything you can't explain in space? You know, I have seen a few things I can't explain in space. Someone asked me that question, and I have. Because I've spent a lot of time being outside, looking at the stars, going all over the place, all over the world, you know. Well, one of the weirdest things I ever saw, in fact, it wasn't really in space, it was actually more terrestrial, was I was in the Lake District, and you know how they do a lot of military aircraft in the Lake District? Well, they must do it at night as well, because I was in Wastwater, and that's pretty dark, Wastwater. It's way out towards the west, the other side of Scafell Pike, and I saw a shadowy thing in the sky. And it was what I think a military aircraft with no lights on. So yeah, that's what I saw. I saw a military aircraft with no lights, no strobes, nothing. It was just a shadow moving across the sky. So what do you think to that? M3D1807 says Avi Loeb to blame for spaceship rubbish. Comet Swan is magnitude 1076. That's another comet. Getting difficult to see now. I haven't seen that one, but Comet Swan is another comet as well. So we've got Comet Lemmon, Comet Swan, and we've also got Atlas. Now Atlas is not something that we could photograph from you know, our back garden, unless you've got a great setup. You could probably catch it. Jace, thank you so much for super chat. I've got a 12-inch Dob first scope. What a buzz! Now that is a pretty good first scope. Yeah, I've used Dobs quite a bit, and they are really good. It's the sort of telescope that if you just want a quick look at something, you swing the telescope round, point it towards what you want to look at, and you're there. They're amazing, Dobsonians. And a 12-inch Dobsonian is massive. What a light bucket. Wow. That is a serious telescope. By the way, we will be having a quiz later on. There you go. I'm going to be taking the questions from this book, just like I did last time. So the questions could be anything. They could be anything. The questions are also multiple choice, which is a little bit of a pain, because it means I need to read out cool down this let's see if I can do this. How does that sound? Is that I've just turned the sound down a bit. I'm just wondering if that's better. Let me know if it sounds better. I've just turned it down a little bit. It might be a bit. Hang on. Try that now. So it's not peaking now. Frank in Blackpool, 12-inch Dobsonian makes excellent dust gatherers. I'm just wondering, is it one that's got an open frame where you put like a shroud on it, or is it like I would probably guess it'll be one of those open frame ones, won't it, where you put the frame. Oh, 110 watching. If you've just joined us, welcome to the live stream. I am the Starman, and I do these live streams usually every couple of weeks, although I have had a bit of a break. Like to go out when I can and do live streams of the night sky outside, but unfortunately the weather's not very good at the moment, so I'm here. I'm sat here. I saw in 90s a triangle object, 3 white lights, inch pulsing red orange. Wow, that sounds like a UFO, that, doesn't it? Yeah. Moonage says, let's head to the back of the class before the quiz starts. Can anybody type 1 if you can hear me okay now? Type 1. I just want to check that the volume, the level's okay. Hi to Vic. Vic has just come in. Skywatcher 300p. Dust covers for top and bottom and a quilt cover fits perfectly. Well, I've got a few people typing 1, so it appears as though the Richard asked if we can have some easy questions. I'm afraid we're up against the book. So even I don't know what some of the questions will be. But from what they were last time, the questions are all right. They're not stupidly hard or anything like that. That book there is not meant to be. It's not meant to be ridiculously hard. Everyone's typing 1. Thank you so much. Vic says, is that a C-Star 30 digital telescope? Done well with Swan and Lemon. Wow. Hi to Marianne Williams and 1 cross each. Sue Macbeth, thank you. Mr. Marcus, Subfids. Stephanie Ketteringham. Just saying a few hellos. So I'm just going to show you some more pictures. Let's have a look. Oh, now, you know, Comet Swan does photographically not look too different to Neowise in a way. It's got quite a big, nice tail to it, but it doesn't look green. You'll notice with this comet here that we're looking at now, Neowise did not have a green coma. That's obviously where it outgasses, where all the ice sublimates and causes that bright coma. But Neowise was very, very white, as you can see. There was no green. I don't think anyone picked up green in it. Moonage Daydream. It was about the volume. If you can hear me okay now, I think it was a little bit loud before. If you were getting a new telescope tomorrow, what would you get? Interesting. I'll have a think about that. But I'm just showing you now some pictures. Now that's one of the pictures I took. Oh, Vic has got 11 telescopes. Wow. This was one of the first pictures I took of Comet Lemmon. And it's not perfect, but as you can see, it does have a green coma. If we go back to Neowise, that does not have a green coma. But it kind of looks similar tail-wise, you know. But that's what. Thank you so much to Sir Vonsi Daz. Please buy 2 £1 burgers. I'm glad you fall into the Atlas debate. You should visit Derby. We have some amazing pictures by Joseph Wright. Right, there's a picture of the comet when some cloud came over. See a little bit more of the tail there, you know. Pop Trump. I'm new here. Hi. Hi to Pop Trump. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed. It says they're new here. George is going. Bye, George. But anyway, I'll just show you the picture now. If you haven't seen the video, check out the video. But this, I mean, just look at that, folks. Come on, look at that. Look at the tail. Now, when I took this picture, the conditions were quite difficult. They were quite difficult. We had wind. We had quite gusty winds, and I had a tracker. But the tracker helped me to get something half decent because that was like a 20-second exposure. And it's not perfect, but I think I'm quite pleased with it, really. I think there's some nice detail in the tail there. It stretches right up off the picture almost. Why are some comets green and some are other colours? It might be, I don't know, it could be to do with nitrogen, maybe, possibly. Because nitrogen gives off a green colour when it's like the aurora. When you see green aurora, that's to do with nitrogen, or is it oxygen? I don't know, I might be getting mixed up between nitrogen and oxygen. It's all, I think it's something to do with the composition of gas. Some maybe nitrogen, some oxygen, and that could be it. Like the aurora, you know, when you see the aurora, you see green aurora, don't you? You see red aurora, you see kind of yellowy aurora. So it could be something to do with that. I'm not an expert on gases and stuff like that, but I'll just try and minimise this a little bit to just get that back to. So yeah, that is Comet Lemmon. Comet Lemmon, yes, a nice comet. And you've still got a chance to go out and see it if you want to go and see it. Hi to Ian. Hi to 1234. So we'll have a look at another comet. Now then, this is going back a while, this one. This is going back to 2013. Frank in Blackpool, time to get a Samuel Joes and a Coke. Aldi, clone jet. I wondered what Samuel Joes was. Now this what we're looking at here, can anybody tell me what we're looking at? We're looking at, I can tell you one thing, we're looking at a comet. But we're also looking at something else. Can anybody tell me what that other thing is in this picture? I took this back in 2013. It was epic, but not a big comet. Thank you so much to GT7, Andy Day. Bye, Hazel. Pons Brooks. Well, actually, what you're looking at in this photograph is you can see the comet down there on the lower right-hand side, just above the trees, because it was quite low when I was taking this picture. And you see that fuzzy thing up on the top left is the Andromeda Galaxy. Amazing. So I took that photograph when the comet was in the same part of the sky as the Andromeda Galaxy. Now, the Andromeda Galaxy is a galaxy far, far away. It's 2.5 million light years away. So when we look at the comet is obviously a lot closer. The comet is inside our solar system, but it happened to be crossing the part of the sky where the Andromeda Galaxy is. Isn't it absolutely amazing? And I took that photograph back in 2013. I was just a whippersnapper then. I wasn't really like an expert or anything. I was still learning. Every time you say lemon, I just hear Bono. Bodes and cigar. Well, I suppose it could look like two galaxies, couldn't it? I do know M81 and M82. Hi to Marie Tricklebank. I'm old enough to remember Halley's Comet in 1986. Well, I was unfortunately never got to see that. Now there's another comet. Now this comet here that we're looking at now was Comet Ison. And I think this was around about 2014. It's got a green coma, kind of typical. Oh, you'll notice that I forgot to mention that last comet was Comet Pan-STARRS. That was Comet Pan-STARRS. And it didn't have a green coma. It was a bit like Neowise. This one did. Comet Ison did. But unfortunately, Comet Ison didn't survive its path around the sun. And it just got broken up into bits. Sir Fonzie Daz, you deserve a knighthood. Oh, thank you so much. So I managed to get a photograph of Comet Ison. it broke up when it went around the sun. It was what they call a sun grazer. So this comet you're looking at here, I photographed that. I think it was at dawn. Yeah, it was at dawn. Yeah, when I photographed that. Yeah, we never saw it when it came on the other side. It just it broke up, I'm afraid. Height at April Ortiz. I think Kahutech was around 1977. Yeah, I was probably just a bit of a whippersnapper back then, so I don't really remember that one. Now this is one a little bit not so far back in history. I think was it last year or was it the year before when I photographed this one? Comet ZTF. I remember going out at 2 o'clock in the morning and I had to drive into the middle of nowhere to get this photograph, and I did a video about it. You might want to watch it. It was a few years ago now. Comet ZTF. They get the names from the telescopes that find them. So, Comet Neowise telescope. Oh, I don't know about Lemmon. I don't know whether that's someone who discovered it called Lemmon. But normally, it'll be the telescope that found it, or maybe someone who discovered the comet. That's how they get the names. The comet we saw in the lakes, Frank in Blackpool. I don't know about that one. But was that the last time we were in the lakes? Not sure if I remember seeing one. Human and Dancer. The last comet I went out and looked at was Hale-Bopp. Wow, that's a long time ago. Vic says, I missed ISOM. Hale-Bopp was the best in my lifetime, with Hayataki next. Wow. ZTF was January 2023. Yeah, that's the one we're looking at now. Comet ZTF. I think there's a telescope called Lemmon. Well, this one was probably taken with a telephoto lens, just nothing too special, not a telescope. I think it was taken with a 300mm lens. None of these pictures you're looking at are taken with telescopes. Well, not long telescopes. If they are a telescope, it'll be a short refractor, something like an 80mm. I don't tend to use anything really long for taking pictures. So that was going back a fair while. So most of the pictures I take are just using normal camera lenses of around about 300mm in length. Saw it by binoculars, rather cold, says Frank. Thanks, Cyril. I'll tell you what, time's getting on. We're almost time for the quiz. So, was named after the Mount Lemmon survey. Thanks, Jay. And Halley's comet is named after Edmund Halley. Or was he called Edmund Hawley? There are some people who say that Hawley is the way to pronounce the name. So was it Hawley's comet instead of Halley's? That's a little bit of not really important, but it could be. It could be. It could be pronounced wrong. But anyway, we call it Halley's comet. He was actually the astronomer royal for some period of time. So he was the official astronomer of the Greenwich Observatory in London, which I have been to quite a few times. Comet Shunshin Atlas was great. Yeah, I remember that one. I haven't got a picture of it on here, but I do remember it. Yes, that was the good one. The Orionids are the remnants of Halley's comet. Yeah. Well, that's it, you see, because these meteor showers that we get are all tend to be caused by the tails of comets. So comets that have gone through and left the tails, or asteroids that have left like dust trails, and that's why we get meteor showers. Comet ZTF, it's on your Flickr page. Yeah, I got that from my Flickr page. Now, we have got a supermoon this week. They reckon it's the brightest of the year, although saying that, it's probably not going to look a whole lot different to any other moon. To me, a full moon is a full moon, whether it's a supermoon or whether it's not a supermoon. To be honest, it's difficult to tell the difference. The difference from a supermoon to a not so supermoon is around about 12%. So 12% bigger than when it's further away. So when the moon's closer, it's 12% bigger when it's closest, and it's obviously that much smaller when it's further away. It's not a massive difference really to be able to see with your eyes. Hello from Waynesboro, Pennsylvania, the official home of the Dark Woods. God was born on November the 6th, 1983. He's taken his human challenge. This is true, and this thread will be blessed now. Wow. Almost time for Christmas decorations. Right. I think we're almost ready for the quiz. I just want to go back to Atlas again. Now, it's been kicking off about Comet Atlas. If you do a YouTube search for Comet Atlas, you will get no end of conspiracies, UFOs, aliens. I must do my own video about it, just on that comet and what I think about it. A dark comet is what they call it. So you could say, well, why not just call it an asteroid? But asteroids don't outgas. They're just rocks. They don't. Comets outgas. When they get close to the sun, they start to sublimate. They start to heat up and they give off this gas. And in most circumstances, they light up, the coma lights up, and they have this nice big tail. Well, Comet Atlas isn't like that. And also, why is it accelerating without gravity? It's accelerating without the gravity from the sun. It's normal for the sun to kind of slingshot things around when you get close to the sun to kind of speed up the orbit a little bit, but that's kind of sending it off its path a little bit. So it's going like a different path, because if it speeds up, then the path is going to be different, because it's kind of like going round like that, and it's weird. It is weird. It could be aliens. You know what? What am I on about? It could be aliens. They probably just had a quick look and thought, no, we'll just carry on going. Yeah, we've had a look. We didn't even bother calling them, because they could have called us. They could have sent some messages, and we'd have been relatively be able to, talk to them fairly quickly with a few minutes of, I don't know, to-ing and fro-ing. Don't go down that rabbit hole unless you want views. Well, I wouldn't mind views, but I'm not prepared to go down that outgas. That can be embarrassing. Yes, it can be, yeah. So we've got over 100. Well, we've got 110. How many are we going to have after the quiz? Because we've now got the quiz. Whee! It's time to go for the quiz, folks. The quiz is back. I'm reading the questions from this book. When will Atlas be at its best visibility? I think that will be when it comes round. Is it not going around the sun yet? I'm not too sure if it's gone around the other side. So when it comes around the other side, to be honest, I'm not too sure how easy it is to see from our perspective, or but anyway, it's time for the quiz. So I actually read questions from this book last time, and it went pretty well, I think. I think it went pretty well. So I'm going to do the same again. It saves me having to write out my own questions, which is pretty good. So I'm going to make sure I've got new questions. So hopefully everyone's ready for the quiz. Just got to fast forward that there. Oh, that is such all that. That's better. Judy's got Google at the ready. Oh, we've got more people watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. I do these live streams every couple of weeks, and I also try to do a video if I can. The last video I did was about Comet Lemmon. I photographed it and it's amazing. You can actually see it with your own eyes as well, so there's still a good chance to see it, and I will go out and see if I can capture it again, but at the moment the weather here is just terrible. It's pretty hopeless this week. Now, first question, right, here we go. What is the orbital period of Mars? Is it 5 to 8 days, 365 days, 490 days, or 687 days? What is the orbital period of Mars? 528, 365, 490, or 687? And you know what? Well, I know which one it isn't. I can count that one out straight away. To be honest, I'll have to think about this, folks. I don't know. I'm going to have a guess without looking at the chat. I've had a guess. I've made my mind up what I think it is, and I don't know if I'm right. So what are people saying? Well, the first answer was Beyond Every Valley with 528. And then Andy Day, 687. So we've got 528, 687. One's cross each says 490. You know, to be quite honest, I don't know. So I'm having to guess. And my guess was D, 687. It definitely wasn't 365 because that's impossible because it's outside of our orbit. So it has to be more than 365. That answer was put in there to be a bit of a trick. So, quiz number 2 answers. I'm going to have a quick look now. Sorry about this. It's not exactly exciting, is it? Waiting for me to have a look at the answers, is it? Oh, wrong one. Oh, I'll get it in a minute. Sorry about this, folks. We'll get there. Don't stay with me. Stay with me. I was right. It was 687. 687 days. I can't believe I was right. I was actually under pressure there. I thought, oh, I hope I get this right. So if you said 687, you were right. So the person who got that right was Andy Day. So well done to Andy Day. 687 days is the orbit of Mars. Jay says, trust me, 687. So there you go. We got it right. Okay, question number 2. What is the name of Saturn's largest moon? Is it Ganymede? Is it Titania? Is it Triton? Or is it Titan? Now I know this one straight off. The largest moon of Saturn. Ganymede, Titania, Triton, or Titan? I know this one straight away. You can say A, B, C, or D. Yeah, you can get away with that if you want, if that's quicker. So this one I know straight away. And I'm just looking on my screen. It might be different on yours, but I go off the answers that come up on my screen. And the first person to get it right is Beyond Every Valley, closely followed by Kevin Rudd. Andy, you got it wrong this time. Ganymede is a moon of Jupiter. That's a trick one. See, that's the thing, you see. Some of the moons are not moons. The answer was Titan. So the person to get that right was Beyond Every Valley. I don't need to look the answer up to that one because I know it's right. Which modern astrophysicist is the director of the Hayden Planetarium in New York? Brian Cox, Jocelyn Bell Burnell, Neil deGrasse Tyson, or Lawrence Krauss? I know this one as well. So which one of these people, these astrophysicists, is the director of the Hayden Planetarium? Brian Cox, Jocelyn Bell Burnell, Neil deGrasse Tyson, or Lawrence Krauss? I know that one as well, although I will just double check. Titan, that's the moon that's got the atmosphere as well. Titan. So everyone's still saying Titan. Now, the first person to get this one, it's M3D1807, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Frank in Blackpool also got Tyson, although not quite as quick. One cross each also got Tyson, yeah? Yeah. So there you go. The answer to that was Neil deGrasse Tyson. Question number 4. What type of star is the Sun? Is it a red dwarf? Is it a red giant? Is it a white dwarf? Or is it a yellow dwarf? So what type of star is the Sun? Red dwarf? Love the show Red Dwarf. Red giant? A white dwarf? Or a yellow dwarf? Again, I don't need to look this one up because I know the answer. Well, we've still got over 100 people watching. We're doing the quiz and we've still got a good crowd watching. We're doing pretty well. I was a bit worried actually because I thought, you know what? I've been off for a while and I didn't even do a video at the weekend. And people must be thinking, oh, he's not coming on again. And then I had to change the day from a Sunday to a Monday. So I'm so glad that everyone's come. So I want to thank everyone for coming in and sticking with me. I am working on a video about my new lens. So I've got this lens here. This will hopefully be up on Saturday, and it's a good video about this lens, the TT Artisan fisheye lens. So this Saturday I will have that video up and it's going to be really good. I was up there with Frank, up in the Lake District, and I tried to get it out before I went away, but I had no chance. It was just too much to it. But it's a good video. Right, so the answer to this question is yellow dwarf. So Jay says Tyson is smart, but a bit full of him. You know, I used to like Neil deGrasse Tyson, but I think it's just lately, in some of the stuff he's been saying lately, I've gone off him a little bit. Moonage says that Brian Cox is the only one she's heard of. Frank in Blackpool says orange. He refuses to say that it's a yellow. Kevin Rudd is the winner with yellow dwarf. Our Sun is a yellow dwarf. Probably the most popular star type going. But it is a yellow dwarf. Vic says, get some badder film for your telescopes to see our nearest star. Or just get the eclipse glasses and then you can look at the sun and you might be able to see the sunspots. Question number 5. We're still doing well. We're not losing people. We've still got a decent crowd. What's the most widely accepted theory for the formation of the Earth's moon? Created during a collision between Earth and a small planet, a merger of multiple smaller moons, gravitational collapse of the original dust cloud, or gravitational capture. So what's the most widely accepted theory? It was created during a collision between Earth and a small planet. It was a merger of multiple smaller moons, gravitational collapse of the original dust cloud, or gravitational capture. So what's the most widely accepted theory? Everyone seems to be going with A, and that's what I would have gone with. A collision with a smaller body. Was it called Theia? And the winner again is Kevin. Again, has got it again with A, closely followed by Stephen Smith and Showy B. A, Beyond Every Valley. M3D1807, Impact J got it. One Cross each got it. Yeah. So pretty much everybody got it. It was a collision with a smaller body. Right, okay. Question number 6. What is the name of the phenomenon that occurs when two neutron stars collide? The very, very small, sort of dense stars. Do we get a neutronium explosion, a supernova explosion, a pulsar explosion, or a gamma ray burst? Now this one is difficult. What is the name of the phenomenon that occurs when two neutron stars collide? A neutronium explosion, a supernova explosion, a pulsar explosion, or a gamma ray burst? Well, I'm going to have a guess, but to be quite honest, it's going to have to be a guess for me on this one. So let's see what people say. The first person to do an answer was M3D07 Hypernova. Frank in Blackpool says Pulsar. I'm going to go with Supernova, but I don't know. Oh my God, I'm stumped on this one, folks. They've got me. I'm wrong. The answer is a gamma ray burst. I got it wrong. Oh my goodness, I need to go back to school, folks. The answer is a gamma ray burst. So if you said D, you were right. And I was wrong. That was my second answer. I went with the easy one. I went with the easy one. So it was Kevin who got it again. Kevin got it. He went with D. Kevin's doing really well. Pulsar explosion. No, it wasn't. It was a gamma ray burst. I've heard of gamma ray burst, but I didn't know what caused them. Question number 7. What type of eclipse is when the moon covers the sun completely? Is it a partial solar eclipse, an annular solar eclipse, a total solar eclipse, or a hybrid solar eclipse? What type of eclipse is it when the moon completely covers the sun? Partial, annular, total, or hybrid? I should know because I've seen 2 of them. Can you phone a friend? Asked Eugene McGeever. You can phone a friend if you want. You know, I'm not going to know, am I? Yeah, I went with Supernova on that last one. And I was wrong. I was wrong. Back to school, Starman. Let's have a look. I think Kevin must have a really good internet. I don't because it's there again. Total. It's a total solar eclipse when it covers the whole of the sun. I should know because I've seen 2 of them. But pretty much everybody was saying total. Yeah, everyone was saying total. Neil Southern said total. C. Total solar eclipse. I've seen 2. And I'm going to see another one next year in Spain. And then there's another one in 2027 in Egypt, along with some other places. But whether I'll get to see that one, I don't know. Now, here's an interesting question. Hi to Helen. And we've still got over 100 people watching, which is great because normally everybody drops out during the quiz. What is a comet? An icy body that orbits a planet, a rocky asteroid, an icy body that orbits the sun, or a gas asteroid. So what is a comet? An icy body that orbits a planet, a rocky asteroid, an icy body that orbits the sun, or a gas asteroid? Well, I know this one. Don't need to check this one. The answers are coming in thick and fast. I'm going to go to northern Spain, but I don't know, Vic. I'm not sure where. I'll probably fly to Alicante and then drive up to where the eclipse path is. That's the plan. Alicante, probably the easiest airport to fly to. You won't be able to see totality in Barcelona or Benidorm, I don't think. You need to be on a specific path. So the first person to get this right, you're not going to believe this, it's Kevin again. It wasn't the first person with the answer, but the first answer was wrong. It's C, an icy body that orbits the sun. So there you go. Kevin got it again. Now here, I've got another question now. This is question number 9. I've got one more after this because we're going overtime now. Going into overtime. We're past 9 o'clock. What is a cosmic void? An enormous gap in space between two galaxies. A large region of space with few or no galaxies. A region of space with a large concentration of dark matter. Or a region of space with a large concentration of dust. So what is a cosmic void? An enormous gap in space between two galaxies, a large region of space with few or no galaxies, a region of space with a large concentration of dark matter, or a region of space with a large concentration of dust. I think I know what it is. I think I know which I'm going to go for. But I'm going to have to check because it's one of those questions that's... yeah, I was right. I got it right. So let's see what people have been saying. Vic says he's going to try the Balearics. Well, you can. You could even go on a boat, on a ferry, on a cruise, something in the Mediterranean and see it from there. It will be sunset though. It will be low down. That's the thing. Be quite low down. So the first person to say an answer was Jonathan, and that was A. Well, the answer is B. It's a large region of space with few or no galaxies. And the first person to get it right was Stephen Smith. There you go. It's a large region of space with few or no galaxies. A cosmic void. Right, okay, last question. Last question. What is the largest known asteroid that is not a dwarf planet? Is it Vesta, Ceres, Pallas, or Hygeia? Never heard of Hygeia. So what is the largest asteroid that is not a dwarf planet? Vesta, Ceres, Pallas, or Hygeia? Now, I know what it isn't. I think I know. I think I'm going to have to go with an answer here. Kind of like an educated guess, I suppose. So a planet is when it's like a sort of like a dwarf planet. It doesn't have to be circular, but you know, almost almost round. And I know for a fact that Ceres is a dwarf planet, so it's definitely not Ceres. Vesta's, I think Vesta's classed as a. I'm going to have a look at the answers. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cough now. I've managed to get over my bug, but I've still slightly got a cough. I was wrong. I was wrong again, folks. The answer to that question was A, Vesta. And I got it wrong. I went for the last one. So let's see who got it right. Yeah, the eclipse will be a bonus, won't it? So the first person to get it right, Kevin actually got the first answer, but it was wrong. So the first person to get it right was Lee. Lee Robert is the winner of the last question. Frank in Blackpool also got Vesta. Quite a lot of people said Vesta. Beyond Every Valley, K Kingu, Andy Day. Yeah, Ceres is actually a small planet or a dwarf planet. I said Hygeia, but I was wrong. So there you go. That's it. That is the quiz, folks, and that's the live stream for this week. Thanks to everyone for joining in. Like I say, I'll try and do some outside if I can. If the weather's decent enough, I might even do a live comet watch if I could. That'd be good, wouldn't it? But that would have to be sort of off the sort of. I'd have to just do it, you know. Hopefully on Saturday I will finally have my video on this lens, the TT Artisan fisheye f2.8 11mm. It's taken me a long time to edit that video. I was up there with Frank. We did a lot of filming. I've done about half of it, and I've got a few more hours to do on it. It'll be a good video, so watch it. We had a good time up in the Lake District. It was, I think it was in September. Yeah, September it was. Yeah, so look out for that. Thanks to all the mods for coming in, and thanks for those who sent super chats as well. That's really, really good. I'm not used to getting those on this channel, so that's really, really good. So don't be worried about Comet Atlas. I think it's on its way out. Comet Lemmon. Have a look for it. Get your bins out. You don't need big binoculars. You do not need big binoculars. Just get some, I don't know, whatever you've got. Bird watching binoculars. 10x50, whatever. Have a little look around. Like I say, we'll just go on here now just to give you an idea where it is. This is where it's going to be. And get out as early as you can. So in the UK, you want to be getting out at about 5:30 onwards. Yeah, see that there? Because even when there's twilight, you can still see it. We could see it in the twilight when we had a look. So look for the very bright star Arcturus. You cannot miss that star. It is so, so bright. And it's about as, well, it's a bit higher up, maybe. So look to the left. Quite a few degrees to the left there. Like I said, there's no, at the moment, it's not near any like really, really bright stars. So you kind of have to just scan the skies. And you will see it because it is, see, you will notice the comet. I think you will see it through binoculars. So that's it. I'm going to leave it there now. Thanks to everyone for joining. And we saw some new faces, should I say, or new accounts that I've not seen before. So don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll be back again in a couple of weeks, and hopefully on Saturday I'll have that video on the lens. What if Comet Atlas keeps going straight and not curve around the sun? Gulp. Good night from Lee and Audrey and Spenny Moore. Thanks, Audrey. Right, I will see you in a couple of weeks, and hopefully I'll have a video or two in the meantime, and I will see you when I see you. Don't forget to look for Comet Lemmon. Right. Bye, everyone. Let's see if I can turn this off now. I've forgotten how to do it.